My father sets the benchmark for emotional repression. About 15 years ago, I was on holiday with Dad and my partner, and lunch took a very long time coming. And because it took a very long time coming, my father had the second of two very large gin and tonics. He usually only had one drink at lunchtime. And I, without thinking, said how strange it was, I felt, that his younger brother had taken an interest in the family history and inquired into where we'd come from and so on, and he'd never taken any interest in it. And as I said this, I saw something which I had never seen before, and I never expected to see. And what I saw was an enormous sob start in his diaphragm, travel up through his rib cage, get into his throat before he swallowed it back down again. And so I asked him more about it, and what he told me was that when he was 8, nearly 9 years old, his father had been killed in an accident, and that somebody had come to the house to tell his mother, and he had been there, and he had run to the site of the accident, and when he got there, they were still digging his father out of the coal slide that had killed him. So he saw him being dug out, and he was old enough to understand and appreciate and feel the pain in a way that his younger brother wasn't. And so, he didn't say it like this, but effectively what he was saying was that his brother was able to face the tragedy in a way that he couldn't face it. So I suggested to him that after the holiday we would take a week and we would go and visit some of the places that he used to go to when he was a lad, when he was a young boy. And we did this, and we went to where they used to go on holiday and all that sort of stuff. And then finally, or towards the end of this week, we actually went and picked his brother up. And the three of us went to the graveyard where their father, my grandfather, is buried. And to my astonishment, there's an enormous monument which was raised partly through public subscription and partly through contributions from what was then the forerunner of the National Union of Railwaymen. An enormous monument, granite obelisk with their names, the four, to commemorate the four railwaymen that were killed in the accident. And all this had been there, not only a significant and important piece of family history and a piece of the emotional jigsaw, but also a great big physical structure commemorating it all in our hometown, which I'd never been told anything about and never been taken to see and never been introduced to in any way. And of course, the interesting thing is that none of this would ever have come up, I don't suppose, if lunch hadn't been so long in coming and if Dad hadn't had the second of the two very large gin and tonics.